Good morning, everybody. How is everybody this morning? My name is Julia Green. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and this is what I call Sunday morning coffee and a card. I usually do a really quick card demonstration. I try to keep it pretty quick and simple. This morning, first of all, I want to apologize. I normally go live on Friday evenings. I did not go live this past Friday evening, partially because I'm a pretty avid gardener and I love being out in my gardens. And so it was a beautiful day on Friday, and I had a lot of projects going, and I was trying to get things finished. And I saw this last night on Facebook or somewhere last night, and it says it's officially shut the front door, pretend the inside of the house is clean, and live outside season. For me, that's exactly what this time of year is. I love to be outside. So unless it's rainy and icky, then of course I'm in here in my craft room because that's my second favorite place to be. Anything but housework, right? Who likes to do housework? Not me, that's for sure. So, so anyway, I'm going through. We have new catalog coming out this week. Very exciting. The new catalog will release on the 6th, which it will be Tuesday. So if you don't have one, you'll be able to see one online. Lots of new fun stuff in there, new in colors, all kinds of the new stuff that we all like, as you know. Good morning, Sandy. So what I'm doing is when I am up here in my scrap room or craft room or whatever we want to call it, studio, I've been sorting through. So I've been going through and looking at stuff, seeing if it's on the last chance list, seeing if it's not even available anymore. And how many of you have DSP that looks like this? Like all different sizes from all different projects. I keep it right in the package because then it has the colors listed on the back. And you end up with all these little pieces and parts. And I'm not going to throw them away because I love DSP. So I need to find some projects for them. So I did a little digging, did a little research, and I found a project. So I'm going to be using some discontinued paper this morning, so don't freak out. You could use this layout with whatever paper you have. I'm just using up stuff that I found when I was cleaning and sorting, because I like to try to keep things that are current in a certain spot as opposed to things that are not current. So as I'm going through all that, so I'm going to show you a fun card layout, and I am using things that are current, but the DSP, I think a lot of the DSP I'm going to be using this morning is not current. So here's my zinnia paper, and I have that same thing going on. Lots of little pieces. Hey, Patricia. Lot of little pieces and parts. So I want to use those up. So here's the card I made, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you, okay? We are using as a sentiment the "You Are Remarkable," okay? This is an online, and I love this stamp set. One of the things I like about it the most is that the salutations are vertical instead of horizontal, which I really like. It's just a little something different. And I love this one here that says "Friends are flowers in the garden of life." So for me being a gardener, it's a really cool thing. So what you're going to need for this layout is you're going to need a card base. Okay, so we're going to go ahead with our card base. I'm using Blackberry Bliss. Okay, all right. Now this stamp set and the I don't believe is available anymore, and I know the paper's not. So all right, and then we're going to do that next layer that I like to do. That's that 4 by 5 1/4. All right. And I also did a layer of that for the inside. And I am using, so what am I using? Flirty Flamingo. Flirty Flamingo. So let's just go ahead and put that layer right on. Alrighty. And then I've got all my little pieces here all cut, ready to go. I have that little strip for inside. So let's go ahead and put our piece inside and then put our little strip. Come on, you. There we go. Rocking and rolling. Good morning. Morning, Linda. All right, so there's my inside. And we're going to put this strip on the inside. Oop. I'm going to put that right down across here. All right, now I made a little template. And I'm going to put this template together. And I do this a lot with card layouts that I like, that I want to keep. So you're going to have the card base. And again, these are all discontinued colors because I save all these little pieces for me to make these little templates. So you have your card base, okay? Then you have your 4 and by 5 1/4, okay? And then you're going to need, this one you can't really see because it's kind of dark. So you're going to have 2.5 by 2 3/4. That's going to go up here, all right? You're going to have the 2.5 by 2 1/4. That's going to go down here, just like that. Then you have a 1 1/4 piece by 2. That's going to go up in this corner. And then you have a 1 1/4 piece by 3, and that's going to go right there. And so that's your card layout right there. And then you can decorate it however you want. All right, so I'm going to glue this together later so that I have, but if you guys want to do a screenshot of that, I'll hold it up a little closer so you can get the measurements on there. All right. So I do that a lot if I have a layout that I like. So I have this one is going to be the 2.5 by 2 3/4. That's going to go right up here. And then we have the 2.5 by 2 1/4. And I got that going the wrong way. Let's see if I can, oh, good, I popped it off of there. It goes this way, Jewel. I want the 2.5 going that way. There we go. And then we're going to do the other side of this. And that's going to be the 2.5 by 2 1/4. Then we have our 1 1/4 pieces. And on mine over here, I did the pattern up there and the more solid one on the bottom. We're going to flip that around on this one. So see what I mean? Once you cut out all these pieces, you could just kind of keep playing around and come up with a whole bunch of different layouts. And then, like I said, I decided to do something long and skinny for the salutation, but you could use a circle, a square. You can put something down here if you wanted to. You can just kind of go crazy once you make all these layouts. So I'm using this from Stylish Shape Dies. And then I have a little strip of white that we're going to stamp our salutation in here. Friends are the flowers in the garden of life. I love that sentiment. Okay. So then we're just going to make sure that's dry. We're going to put that right on top of my Blackberry Bliss banner. Right in the middle. On that one, I didn't get it quite in the middle, but we're going to try to get this one right in the middle. So we have a little bit of that flag sticking out on either side. Then we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of that guy. Thanks, Sandy. Like I said, I have all these packages of all these little pieces and parts of paper. So I was just looking for a fun, quick, and easy template. And this one came about. So I'm using the Baker's Twine 3-color pack. I believe this is Flirty Flamingo. If not, it's pretty gosh darn close. So that's what we're using. We're going to make a bow for the bottom. And you know me, a lot of times I like to double up my baker's twine. And this isn't cooperating where both loops want to come through. Here we go. I think we got it that time. Well, sort of. Got a pretty lopsided bow here, so we're going to pull it through a little bit more. Play around with it a little bit. This side does not want to pull out here. I got a twist going on. I'm going to grab my, pull this a little bit. Come on, little feller. All right. Just like that. Now we're going to cut our tails. I'm going to grab a glue dot. Good morning, Susan. How is, you guys are in North Carolina, right? Or South Carolina? How was the weather down there? We had a crazy thunderstorm here yesterday afternoon. It was crazy. It was scary crazy. It was just insane. Now, I need a little bling in the top there. And I know I used some sequins that I don't see laying around here. I'm not sure what I did with them. I thought they were right here somewhere, but I'm not seeing them. So maybe they're up here. Nope, not seeing them there either. All right, so there's my first card for you. And then I'm going to show you a couple more. Now the next one that I have, we're going to be using this set. So I'm going to put these over there. So we have this one. And again, same layout. Whoops, I get a little bit of glare there. Same layout, using up some pieces of DSP that I had laying in the bottom of the package. Now, this stamp set and dies are on the last chance list. So I've been telling you, and I can't tell you enough, you want to check out that last products list. There's some good stuff on there. This die and dies and stamp set together are cheaper than they were when they were sold as a bundle. So you're going to want to check those out. I can't tell you enough to make sure you're checking out that last chance list. And if you put it in order yesterday or Friday, you would have got double reward points, which I did put it in order. All right, so we have that same layout. This time we're using, now the paper is not on the last chance list. However, it has pebbled path in it, so I'm really thinking that it's probably going to be discontinued. However, who knows? Maybe it's going to go online. I'm not really sure, but all right. And then my next layer that I'm using, and now all my cards that I did today, this is actually a layer for the inside. All my cards today I'm doing are South Carolina. Oh, lots of crazy storms, huh? I'm doing these, what I call easel cards that stand up like that. So, but you could do the same layout on whatever card, whichever way you want to do. If you want to do like a traditional card, or I'm also going to show you one going the other way here in a minute. All right. So then we have, now on the inside of this one, I decided to put a layer. I watch a couple other demonstrators, and they always like to put these fun layers on the inside. And again, back when I first became a demonstrator, it was all about layers. So, and I believe Connie, who does this a lot inside her cards, has been a demonstrator probably longer than I have. So she remembers the whole, let's add a layer for some pop. And that's what I like to do too. I love that paper is carrying over. Oh, okay. It is carrying over. Alrighty. I just was surprised because it has the pebbled path in it. So, all right. So that's my inside. I'm also going to stamp on the inside to add a little something, something. But let's just do this. Let's just do this layer. Let's see if I can put them on right this time. So this is my 2.5 by 2 3/4. This is my 2.5 by 2.25. I'll put that down here. These are my 1.25 inch strips. We're going to do this one up here. And then we're going to do this one down here. And then it's just all about decorating. Now I cut out a couple of the dies to add to my decorating. This ticket shape is also in there, and I did just sending a bit of love your way, okay? But I don't know if you guys can see this fun ribbon that I put behind there. But this fun ribbon, I believe, is a pre-order. This is the gold striped ribbon. This is going to be a favorite of mine. I like it. It's got the organdy in between the gold stripes, and it's the same on both sides, so great for making bows. Very, very pretty. Very pretty. Very sparkly. So that's that one. Now, what I mentioned before, I'm just going to put this over here. Oh, I also did some sequins on this too, and I cannot find my package of sequins. I don't know what I did with them. But these sequins are being discontinued, I believe. They're the ones that are the gold, the copper, white, and brass maybe, like a burnt brown color. But I used those on here too, and because I'm trying to use them up, I used 5 on there. So I don't know. I got lots of glare when the paper has shimmer to it. So, all right, so there's that one. Now I wanted to show you this last one, and this is using the paper that I had that I showed you in the very beginning. Okay, this one here we're going to open this way. Okay, so, and the stamp set I used for this one is a pre-order. So this is a stamp that's coming out. It's called Blooming Phrases. And if you have some of this paper, the paper was called Countryside Inn 12 by 12 paper. A lot of these images, I feel, really match this paper. So this would be a good one if you have some packages of this paper. This would be a great stamp set for you to put on your wish list. I also like these ones where it looks like it's script and they kind of just let the line go. So I liked this one a lot. So this one, like I said, we did this way. All right. And so for our second, something else a little different I did with this one too, was that for my second layer, I had a lot of this paper because I used this paper in a class. So I have a lot of little pieces and parts of this paper. So what I used for my 4 by 5 1/4 piece was one of these printed pieces. And you can see it still looks okay because just a little bit of it hangs out around the edge. And it just added a little something. So, and then on this one, I used these, and I believe these, yes, these are on the last chance list. These are the tinsel gems, and I used the blue, which I know the blue is a different, it's not a blue that's in the paper, but I used them up because I'm using stuff up. I'm using stuff up that's sitting around here so that I can justify buying new stuff out of that new catalog, right? So we're going to put that one right there. Now, something that I have always said is about scrapbooking, and I'm not a big scrapbooker. I wish I was a bigger scrapbooker, to be honest with you. I'm much more a card maker. But I've been doing my memory keeping Mondays, and I haven't had a real good, like a lot of response from my memory keeping Mondays. So I think I'm going to back off from doing those for a while because, one, I haven't had a really good big response, and 2, it's time consuming for me. And like I said, this time of year, my time is outside a lot of times. So, but what I wanted to show you this morning was a lot of times just a card layout, all a scrapbooking layout is just a bigger version of a card layout. So I went and I had some little pieces and parts of this. This was that kit that was in the front of the catalog, which I wish I could remember what it was called. Let's see. let's look and see, because I'm pretty sure I can find it pretty easily. There it is. So this was the Frames and Flowers 12 by 12. It came with 3 different sheets of paper and then all these fun die cuts. And they showed you all these fun tags and all these great things that you could do with it. I had some little pieces and parts, again, in the thing, and I was like, okay, I want to use that up. Well, this is the same layout as the card layout that we did in the front. So you have your base, okay, and then you just come in however far you want. This happens to be a 10 by 10. I came in so that I have an inch all the way around, okay. Then this piece is, let's see if I can, I don't remember what they were, but this is 7 inches across, okay, by 5 3/4, okay, and then the bottom one is 7 inches across by 3 3/4, okay, and then we put, that's where my 2 pictures are going to be. These guys over here are 2.5, and the top one is 2.5 by 2 3/4, and the bottom one is 2.5 by 6 3/4. But you could do it however you wanted. But if you see what I mean, this is the same layout as we did on the card fronts. So let me bring over a card front so you can see it's the same exact layout. And then we just decorated. Okay, so we decorated the top. I have the little corner thing over here. I did do the corner thing with dimensionals, so I still can get a picture under there or some journaling. I decorated this up here. I did these fun corners. So all it is the exact same layout that we did with the card. It's just done in a scrapbook page. And like I said, you can go around with the different sizes that you want, but it's basically the same layout as the front of the cards. All right, so that's what I have for you this morning. Hopefully I have inspired you to use up all those little scraps. Whatever you do, don't throw them away. DSP is way too much fun to be throwing any of it away, okay? So that's what I have for you this morning. Don't forget, we are Paper Pumpkin. We're on the, I think it is, what is Mother's Day next May? So maybe next Sunday is May 10th. To get that paper pumpkin. Don't forget, if you're doing the paper pumpkin, it's always fun to add the add-on. I don't know if I got anything else for you. Oh, yes. Look at this. Starting the day the catalog releases, between May 6th and the end of the month, new demonstrators are going to be able to pick a little extra in their starter kit. So you will get $165 in products for only $99. Normally it's $125, so you're getting an extra $40 in product. You'll be able to purchase all kinds of fun new things out of the catalog, out of the new catalog. So that's always a great thing, is to be able to start with all kinds of new fun stuff. And I would love to have some new people on my team. So if it's something that you're thinking about doing, you don't have to do what I do. You can run your business the way you want. You can, do whatever you want. It's all completely up to you. But I'd love to have some new people on my team. And it's a great way to buy the products and things at a discount. And who doesn't love a discount in these day and ages, right? All right, so I'm bringing you back up. So here were my 3 cards using that fun layout. What did I do with my little cheating template here? I'm going to put my little cheating template right over here. All right, I'm going to glue that together. But somehow I got to figure out how to write the measurements for the outside one. And maybe put the measurements with my white gel pen or something on the dark color so I can read them a little better. All right, and then here was the fun scrapbooking layout in the same layout as we did the cards. Okay? All right, guys, I hope you all have a great week ahead. We are expecting some rainy weather here for the next 2 or 3 days. So, and wouldn't you know, it's days off from work for me. So I will be up here in my scrap room, studio, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to be trying to get it organized and ready for the release of that new catalog. So I'm going to continue going through all my DSP scraps and old DSP and all that stuff. And I'm going to move out the in colors that are leaving us. Pebbled Path, Boho Blue, Boho blue is in this paper. Um, let's see, what do we got? Copper clay, wild wheat, and moody mauve are leaving. Oh. So I will be moving those out of my paper rack over there, and I will be bringing in the new stuff. All right. So I'll be doing all those kinds of things for the next couple of days up here. So you might see some posts for me. If I get inspired, I might do some posts. I might do a live. I might do a reel. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things go. All right. So thank you so much for stopping by this morning. I hope you enjoyed that. How easy it is to do scrapbook layout when you just, copy a card layout. That's all you got to do. So hopefully that'll make me a better scrapbooker, or a more active scrapbooker anyway. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for stopping in. I hope you've enjoyed my quick card this morning. I'm going to miss all the retiring paper as well. I love the zinnia paper. That was one of my favorites. I actually have a package of that. Being that I love to grow zinnias, I have a package of that in my stash. But anyway, and as always, don't forget to check out the online stuff, the last chance list, all that fun stuff. So, all right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Hopefully I have inspired you to do a little card making this week, or maybe a little scrapbooking. And as always, thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll all be stamping together real soon. Have a great day.